So we want to learn about regular expressions, eh? Um, so this is going to be an interesting one. I want to cover a little bit with Amazon EC2 grep, which leads into regular expressions. So let's get started. Um, First of all, with AWS, you're paying for what you use. Okay, now that includes disk, that includes CPU, it's compute capacity. So if you're not using something, please shut it down. If you're never going to be using it again, terminate it so you don't have to pay even for the disk. Because if it's shut down, you don't pay for it, but you do pay for disk. Um, and if you shut it down, you have to pay for an IP address if you've um, allocated elastic IP address to it. If it just grabs one when it boots up, you don't pay for it. It's just part of the compute. Um, if you associate uh, an EC2, um, if you associate it with an elastic IP so that it always has the same IP when it reboots, if you shut it down, then you have to pay for that IP address. When it's running, it's just covered as part of it. Okay, so we have here. Uh, I just have my junk one. That's the one I'm going to use. The other one I shut down. Oh, one last thing. Let's look at the cost. Now, I just Googled EC2 instance info costs, and you have to scroll down just a little bit. I mean, the first one's details, Amazon. Anyway, there's a bunch of people here that have run scripts to go out and grab the current prices. And I've used both of these. I keep hitting this one. This is the one I think I used first. Um, so we'll come to this one this time. Um, but yeah, it's just a simple query to try and find it, and you can get the pricing tool. So you do have to set your, believe it or not, it does change by region. So in Amazon's lab environments for students, the learner labs in AWS Academy, you're required to use North Virginia. And then you can select which ones. Now I usually use we usually use the T2 micro. I'm actually going to use the other one. I'm going to go to the other side. Um, this one. Because it allows me just to search for the name um, of the instance type. So once again, look here, East Virginia. That's the one that we have to use. And if I come here, instance, hourly upfront column. Okay, right here. This is where I want to be. My computer's not happy right now. Okay, so T2. Let's do T2. You know what? T2. There we go. Okay, so if we look here, T2 micros, the default free one, it only has gig of memory, which is usually plenty to play with. In fact, I've had web servers that are less than that. One CPU and low to moderate network performance, and it's a little over a penny hourly. But if you reserve it, it's less than that. So reserving is if you say, I'm going to use it, and then there's a couple different options there. You can reserve it and pay it slowly over time every month, but you have to pay it whether you use it or not. Or you can pay it all up front, and that's when you get the best discounts. But if you don't use it, then you're paying for it anyway. Um, and in general, if you're using it half the time, uh, if you're using it more than half the time, you probably should reserve it. Um, so anyway, this only covers the compute capacity. This does not cover the extra storage on disk that you might use, or outbound network traffic. But that's also very little for most things. I mean, I have to say for most things because um, NASA had a project that it was a lot because they're huge files, terabyte files. Anyway, okay, so let's grab this IP again. Now that we've talked about that, make sure I have it in my buffer. sh dash oh, I don't need dash I because this is using my normal one. EC2 dash user at in the IP. Okay, so this is going to be really simple today, because I really just want to show you that So if I man-k grep, I can see that there are a lot of different options here, okay? And one of these is egrep, which is kind of runs grep with, let's man egrep. So it prints lines, but egrep actually uses two variants. Egrep is the same as grep dash uppercase E. So if we go down and look at dash uppercase E, extended grep, interpret patterns as an extended regular expression. Okay, so you can use a regular expression here. So let's learn about regular expressions. And the best way to do that is by going through these exercises. Okay, if we look here at regex1, it basically has some exercises where you can type your pattern in here, A, B, C. Oh, and that's what it's matching. Okay, it'll match all of them. And it has the lesson notes over here on the side to give you some hints as to what you can do. Now, if you're trying to, this is for learning. If you're trying to do something complex and you're just stumped, try Googling what you're trying to do and you'll be amazed at what you can find. But to learn the basics of regular expressions, I would suggest that you go through all these lessons and you just hit continue and you can go ahead once you've matched them and stuff. And there is a way to see the solution, but try and learn these first. And this goes through step by step telling you about how you can do things. So for example, punctuation and other symbols. So most are normal ASCII, but there's a couple of lines. So anyway, writing a pattern that matches all three rows. It may be as simple as the common letters on each line. So this just give you a hint. You can do the common letters on each line. So, I mean, you could also do, so there's lots of options. So there's one for any character, dot, 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 dot. Okay, so that was over here, any character. Okay, optional character also works. Oh, dot, question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, wait. So dot, dot, dot. So there are a lot of different things you can do here. So play, have fun, and I suggest you do them all. Thank you.